Hey everyone, this is Erica from Confessions of a Homeschooler again, and today I'm going to do a really quick review on the Grapevine Bible Studies. We've used these, I'm not even sure how many years, several years. We've done all her studies, so we're kind of just waiting until the new ones come out. And she does have a new one this year, which we're going to work on. So I wanted to show you what they look like. I know the website can be a little confusing on what to buy, so I want to show you what we buy, how we use it, and hopefully that'll help some of you out. So if you want to see it, stick around and let's take a closer look. Alright, so here's a little bit of a closer look of the curriculum, and it comes, you can buy it printed, but I usually just get the download because it's less expensive. And then I take it to Office Depot and I just have it spiral bound because it's easier for me for teacher's manuals. I like to just kind of keep it like this, and then I just know where we are and I don't have to worry about trying to find my page and all that kind of stuff. So you do get the teacher's manual, and yes, you do need it. I've had a lot of questions, but the teacher's manual really walks you through everything you need to do. And if you just had the student manual, which you'll see in a student workbook, which you'll see in a second, you're going to open it up and be like, what am I supposed to do with this? Because this is really more of kind of a blank template, and there's not really any instructions and that kind of thing in here. So for sure get the teacher's manual, and I always get the multi-level units because I have 4 different kids, 4 different grades, and so it just works really well for us. If you just had one child or a huge gap, then maybe you could get individual units for them, but honestly I don't see why the multi-level works just fine for us. So this is what the teacher's manual looks like, and it has, you know, their information, kind of how to work, any information about them, how it works, what you should do to prepare, and that kind of thing. And then they do have some schedules in here. Honestly, I don't really follow the schedule. We just kind of put it into our schedule as it fits, and then we just do Bible whenever it's called for in our schedule, and it's fine. I don't do one lesson per day. I will say that because the lessons can be kind of long, and so we spread them out just kind of more based on how things are going, how much time we have that day, and that kind of thing. So it's just really honestly very flexible. But it tells you, the teacher's manual kind of tells you what to do. They give you sample drawings, and I usually will either draw this on the board or hold it up for the students to see. My kids are so used to doing these now, they don't usually need me to show them a picture. They kind of just draw their own things, but it gives you a little bit of information. You read the parts in green to them, and then it tells you have students draw a burning bush. So you just tell them to draw a burning bush, and then they can either make it up or you can show them. And the whole teacher's manual is kind of like that. If there's any reading involved, it'll say, you know, read these passages, read aloud, Exodus 1:1-7, discuss this information, have them draw this, then you're going to read this, discuss, draw, whatever. And then there's also some dictionary terms, and there's always like review questions and that kind of thing at the end of each little section. But there's always a picture of your student's page and kind of what they should be drawing. Obviously they can draw whatever you want. You don't need to limit their creativity or anything. And then there's always a review that just asks questions that have covered what you've gone through in your previous lessons, and then you kind of move on to the next section. And then there's always a final review drawing also. And there's also a memory verse, and then you can review that, and then these pictures are supposed to help you kind of remember the verse as well. So I do like this. I think that as the kids are drawing their stories out, it just helps them remember what they've learned and the passages and all that kind of thing. So that's what the teacher's manual looks like. So you definitely for sure need that. And then the student books look like this. And again, I have them spiral bound just to make it easier for my kids, and we don't have pages flying out or anything like that. But you can get 2 different versions of these. And I don't know if you can see this on camera. Hopefully you can. But this one is the traceable version, and so there's really light kind of gray drawings. Hopefully you can see that. And then so my teeny tot actually just traces over those, and it just makes it a lot easier for her. The other kids' versions are just blank, and so as you can see they would draw their own, but this is what it looks like. So when you turn it up, I mean, I guess you could read that scripture, but you know, if you just had the student manual, you wouldn't necessarily know what to do with that. You wouldn't have the review questions and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I guess the questions are in here, but not the answers and that kind of thing. So you really do need, in my opinion, the teacher's manual. So, and then I would just get whichever student workbook you want based on how old your kids are. I think I started with my one of my middles, when she was in first grade, I gave her, I think, the blank one. I am going to let the Teeny Tot use this tracer version this year, again, just because she likes it and I don't have a problem with it. So you'll obviously need to print out one for each of your kids. So I have 4 here and the teacher's manual. And then you can either use colored pencils, or one thing that we absolutely love are these friction pencils, pens, and you can get them on Amazon. They ship from like China or something, but they're Pilot Friction, Frixion, and they literally erase. I use these for quilting too, but they like erase like no problem, like just gone. So these are great. My kids love them. They're colorful. They can erase if they make a mistake or whatever. So you can just use regular colored pencils. Little ones could use crayons even if they wanted, and then all of my kids like to use these. So this is what the unit looks like, and we just use these pencils. It's relatively simple. I spend about 15 or so minutes a day doing these, and I think there's only 12 lessons in this particular one, and so I just kind of split it up into however much time we have that day, and I don't do the entire lesson 1 all in one day, because lesson 1 covers several sheets of paper. I'm not even sure where it starts here, but there's like, here, it looks like this might be the beginning. And then it goes clear, back to here is like your review. So this is quite a few pages to do in one sitting. So I usually only do like a couple of pages per day, and just when we're done, we're done. So I don't schedule this out too roughly. I kind of just put a little sticky so I know where we are, and we just pick back up the next day. So this is really easy to schedule out, and it's really easy to use, and the kids like it as well. So we're going to stick with that this year. So that is part of what we're going to be doing this year for Bible. I do have another devotion that I'll do a different video on, but this will be kind of our primary Bible study for this year. It works really well for a variety of ages, and so I hope this video helped some of you out. If you have any questions, you're welcome to email me at erica@confessionsofthehomeschooler.com, and I'll do my best to answer any other questions. You can also email the Grapevine people. They're super, super nice and helpful, and so if you have any questions, feel free to visit their website as well. I hope this helped you out, and I will see you next time.